Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings on from the weeks that was. Alrighty folks, we're going to be starting out this week on top of the world. Well, at least on top of the physical world anyway. So, we've got a new player in the VR simulation market with Everest VR. Now, Everest VR has been a long-awaited title in the VR genre. For giving you a chance to explore this one of the most remarkable places on Earth, and actually give you a chance to explore and actually climb Everest in virtual reality for those who may never be able to actually get there in real life. I personally know a couple of people who have, and full respect to them, and I hope one day to do it, but probably this will be the closest I'll ever get to do it in real life. Anyway, this title held a lot of promise as being able to actually, to be able to climb Everest in virtual reality. Sadly, though, it appears that it's fallen far short of expectations. Now, I want to caveat this by saying I don't have a VR headset, so I haven't put this to test myself, but the reviews out there are basically going, this is not a simulation title, this is not a first-person title, this isn't any kind of title other than an experience. So, yeah, in the words of a couple of reviewers, basically go watch a documentary on Everest, or go see there's a really spectacular IMAX movie on climbing Everest. Yeah, go see that. Don't bother with this title, which is a real shame because visually it looks absolutely stunning. And for $25 US, I must admit I was expecting to have quite a bit of actual like functionality to be seen in there, but apparently it's not there. But for those of you who are wanting to have this experience, it is available now on Steam. You do get to experience 5 iconic areas of Everest. You've got the base camp, the Kamubi ice falls. You've got the Perilous Camp 4, the Hillary Step, and the actual summit of Everest itself. So there you go. It's available now on Steam for those who do wish to partake. But as I said, probably definitely read the reviews first before you consider investing in this one. So yes, available now on Steam for $25 or your regional equivalent. Alrighty, moving back down to ground level for the moment with... You know what, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. There's pretty much a simulation title for just about anything you can imagine now. And just when I thought everything was covered, no. We've got another reboot here. We've got Extreme Forklifting 2. To be honest, I didn't even know there was a first one, but apparently there was, and this is the sequel. So, this is $2. So that'll probably give you the idea of what you're to expect here. Essentially, in the words of the description of the game is very brief. It literally is: always dreamed of becoming a forklift operator. Now you can drive a forklift, move pallets around, and do crazy stunts. That's the description, the official description of the game. That's it. So yeah, basically a whole series of arcade-style challenges for getting you to go around obstacle courses, do stunts and tricks in a forklift, and move various pallets full of various random objects around, all while wearing what I think is a sombrero. I'm just going to leave that at that, but yes, available now, $2, probably. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee, so you know what, you'll probably get at least a cup of coffee's worth of entertainment out of it. Available now on Steam for both Windows and Mac for $2. Oh dear, it's so much. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Okay, a little while ago we saw the release of Construction Simulator. Construction Simulator was a really interesting little title that did put an interesting little spin on the simulation genre from similar teams teams that had brought us things like Farming Simulator and stuff like that. The more basic versions, though, Construction Simulator essentially put you in hand of building buildings and stuff like that with vehicles. Well, this is a DLC for that add-on. So this is the Liebherr LTM 1300 6.2. So this is basically you get a giant crane, mobile crane, and its companion man TGX D38 4-axle tractor. So you get these two new vehicles. So over 300 with the mobile crane has over 300-ton lifting capacity. Looks like it's modeled really, really well, both graphically and physics wise as well. So it looks really, really interesting. And as I said, you get the manned 4-axle tractor as well with its trailer. And you get 5 new missions for that as well as being able to make it fully compatible with the multiplayer construction experience that you have. What's, again, really cool, and one of the things that I like about the Construction Simulator series is the way they handle multiplayer injection. With simply the fact that if you don't have this DLC, but one of your friends does, and you're playing multiplayer online together, that's okay. You'll still see him show up, the other person show up in the correct vehicles and do the correct things and whatever. You just can't drive them yourself. You know what? That's a really smart way of handling multiplayer. Just throwing it out there. That's a really intelligent way of handling multiplayer. I like it for that. So, if you do want to expand your Construction Simulator experience, this is available now for $3 or your original equivalent. Available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving into, well, kind of the flight simulation world. So this week we saw an indie release called Land It, which is basically an air traffic control simulator in an arcade style. Look, I'm looking at this and going, you know what? This is Flight Control HD by a different developer, but it doesn't look as good. Bottom line, pretty much, it's got more challenges, it's got more levels, so I will give it that. But essentially, if you've already got Flight Control HD, then you've essentially already played Land It. You really have, because it's the exact same it's the exact same mechanics, but done in a slightly more clunky way, and just not as well done, I don't think. So yeah. To me, it really comes across as an iOS port. I couldn't find it on the iOS store, but reading some of the reviews, it looks like it is out there, maybe just for Android, not sure. But yeah, it is available. It is essentially a port. It's, as I said, looking at it, I think Flight Control HD has this beat in spades. I think that was a far more interesting and fun experience. But yes, if you do want to challenge yourself with something a little bit different, this is available now on Steam for $10. A little exy, I think, for what it's offering, but anyway. Yeah, if you are interested, available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving on to the flight simulation world now. So for F6 Steam Edition, we saw a new release this week. So another one of the releases for DLC that's been available for quite a while out for the traditional FSX, but now making its way onto Steam for the first time. We've got Vatavia's C-17 Globemaster 3 add-on. Now, couple of interesting things about this particular release. So, okay, the first thing that it does is it does what pretty much all of the Steam DLC does, which I have a fairly huge problem with. You know, I understand the official Dovetail reason for doing it, for stripping out all liveries and making it just a clean skin aircraft that gets released for all their DLC releases, and removing all copyright things because they don't want to be sued. You know, I think it's a. I don't think it's a particularly valid excuse, but okay, at least they inform us why. Don't agree with it, but anyway, so you get a clean skin C-17 with this. But what's more interesting is the fact that it's got a Boeing officially licensed product logo on it. Now, I did my research, I looked into it. The original Batavia release was not officially licensed by Boeing. Not at all. So, this would suggest there's an update to it. There's not. It's still the same aircraft that we saw previously, just devoid of all the liveries that the actual Batavia release does. But this mention of a Boeing officially licensed product is very interesting because it actually reveals something potentially actually more impacting the future Dovetail Games Flight Simulator than it does actually FSX Steam Edition, because it means that Dovetail Games somewhere along the line has got an official licensing agreement with Boeing. What does that mean for the future? Who knows? But it's a very interesting little side note to actually see in this. So, um, as always with a lot of the FSX Steam Edition DLC content, I tend to recommend, if there's an alternative, if you can buy direct from the developer for the liveries, then I kind of would suggest that you do it that way. But yeah, as I said, very interesting thing to point out with that one. So, anyway, available now on Steam for FSX Steam Edition for $25 or your regional equivalent available now. Or if you want the original version, which is the exact same content but with all the extra liveries, you can pick that up from Batavia, either directly from, well, actually, no, you can't pick it up directly from Batavia's website, but you can pick it up from your favorite online flight sim retailer. Alright, continuing on with the Flight Simulation World and the ESP platform at the moment. So we've got, Orbix. Orbix have released their latest in their FTX Global LC series. So this is FTX Global Open LC in North America. So this has come out. So they've previously released OpenLC Europe and OpenLC Alaska and Canada. They've now added in OpenLC North America. So this covers over 24 million square kilometers of Canada and the United States in fully updated vector data, in fully updated sorry, not updated vector data, but up to updated land class. So land class, for those who may not be sure what it is, essentially that is where is the gridding or mapping of your simulator to tell the simulator where to put specific types of textures. So where there's farmland, where there's an urban area, where there's a rural country town, where there's a mine, where there's just open forest, where there's marshland, stuff like that. Now, previously, I've always been a big supporter of there's another land class product out there for North America, which is a lot cheaper. It's only about $10. Which covers the lower 48, and I've always promoted that one because it's been good quality, and it does the entire of continental US of the United States. It doesn't cover Canada, unfortunately. What is really awesome about the FTX Global one is the fact that not only is it updated and give you more accurate places of where cities, towns, villages are, where farmland is, and that kind of stuff. It adds in a whole heap of new textures for said land classes, so you get a lot more of variety with your scenery and terrain as well, which is really cool. And that removes the what's termed the checkerboarding effect. So if you zoomed out quite high, or you were at quite high altitude, you look down at the ground and you see this very much a checkerboarding effect, because it was only FSX only has FSX and P3D only have a limited number of textures to actually put in these land class areas. What this does, and one of the reasons why it's considerably more expensive than anything than other products, other land class products, is the fact that it's giving you these extra textures as well. For that reason, I do kind of support it more now, because of the fact that it does give you all these extra textures, and it gives it to you in a full 5-season variation as well. So really impressive set, and really, really amazing. As a point of view, it is available now from the Flight Sim store. There is a really good deal going at the moment. If you have previously purchased the Canada and Alaska OpenLC, you will get a very hefty discount on this one. It's pretty much half price if you have previously purchased the OpenLC for Alaska and Canada. So just FYI for that, if you do already have those products and you do want to invest in this, grab it now, along with a whole heap of other cool stuff. So yeah, available now from the Flight Sim store. Alrighty, folks, continuing on with other FSX releases this week. So we saw Sim 720. So Sim 720 is a developer, a UK-based developer that primarily focuses on scenery. They've been branching out into some other sort of temporary things in the background for a while, but sort of just trying their hand at a few things. But they're well known for their scenery releases, mixed bag of scenery releases. Got some great stuff, got some mediocre stuff, but overall still pretty good quality. They're foraying there for their first time into aircraft production. So it's the people will sort of say, well, Orbix have tried that and it wasn't very successful. So the success of this one remains to be seen. Again, seeing some interesting, mostly quite positive reviews for this one. The interesting thing and a bit of history about this. So this is the Icarus C42A. So the C42A, the Icarus C42A is technically it's a microlight. It's got a max takeoff weight of only 450 kilos, but it's got the high wing monoplane design like a traditional GA aircraft, like a Cessna 172 or a Piper Cub. So it's got a very traditional design, and this has been created in very close conjunction with AirSim and an actual real-life flight school at Airborne Aviation in the UK. So it's been designed for their flight training simulator. So with that in mind, there's a lot of high hopes on this, and to see how it's actually been done. And they advise that it has been tested by many C-42 pilots around the world, and as I said, and because of the fact that it is based on done in conjunction with an actual flight school for their student flight simulator, it would tend to suggest that this is going to be a really impressive aircraft to come out from these guys. So very, very highly detailed 3D model, both interior and exterior. 2 liveries included, one for the Airborne Aviation and one for just a Comco Icarus delivery scheme as well. Beautiful bump mapping and full beautiful 3D rendering, and 4096 HD textures throughout the aircraft. So really impressive to see for that one. So that one's available now, either direct from the Sim 720 website or available from your flight sim retailer now. Alrighty, continuing on in other flight simulation releases this week. This is a kind of cool. So I like things that are quirky and kind of strange and kind of weird. The S-97 Raider from Sikorsky is definitely one of those aircraft. Originally sort of originating out of a 1970s request for proposals and competition for United States Army aviation TAC helicopter program. It was then went on to do a few other things through various other Sikorsky concept prototypes, and this one has come out as becoming as part of the Armed Aerial Scout program. So it's a coaxial rotor aircraft with a pusher prop at the back, and it's a really twisted, bizarre looking helicopter. But that's what makes it amazing. And this has been noticeably absent from the flight simulation world until now. So this is looking really interesting. So this is by a new company called Hangar 18 Simulations. Now, rumor has it that these guys, some of these guys have previously worked for the likes of Milviz or something, and some other developers as well, and Area 51. So not sure on how that is, but yeah, it's very interesting. Available now from your favorite flight simulation retailer, or directly from Hangar 18's website. But yeah, it looks kind of interesting. Fairly basic on the interior, probably to do with the fact that it's probably still very much a technology demonstrator, and not a lot of information is publicly available. But yeah, it's a quirky looking aircraft, and I'm intrigued to try it out. So yeah, very interesting. So if you want something quirky in your hangar, this might be the one for you. As I said, available now for around about $20 from the Hangar 18 website, or from your favorite flight sim retailer. Available now. Alright, rounding out the release news this week this time from the DCS World. So, a new campaign is available. Now, this is a really interesting campaign. So, this is called the Museum Relic Campaign. So, this is a campaign for the DCS MiG-15 and F-86 modules. Now, if you So you do need to have at least one of these to be able to play the missions and the campaign that's included in this. Or actually, DCS are offering a bundle deal from their web store at the moment. If you do want to, if you haven't picked up these already, so yeah, available now. It's got over 22. It's got 22 story-driven missions with huge amounts of detail gone through here. Like amazing, the amazing detail has gone into the flight plans, briefing pages, and just the setting the scenario. Long story short, you're a dude that you were just a civilian, and you signed up, but you bring with you an aircraft that you own, and you donated to a local flight museum previously, but now you've pulled it out of the museum and you're bringing it into frontline combat. So you're now pitting MiG-15s and F-86s against the likes of Su-25s and F-15s and F-16s and all sorts of stuff. So it's really interesting. It's an interesting story, is what it is. It's really interesting story. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I think it's a really cool. So for those into DCS and those who like campaigns, this looks like it's an incredibly detailed campaign. Really well done, and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing this one in actual gameplay. So there you go. Alright, and that is available now from the DCS e-store. Not available through Steam. Don't get me started on that particular topic. Anyway, but yes, available now through the Digital Combat to the DCS World website, so digitalcombatsimulator.com, and head over to their e-store to grab this campaign or the bundle deal with the F-86 and the MiG-15 now. Alright folks, that does wrap up the NovaWrap for this week. Now, a couple of things I do want to highlight, I do want to close out with though. So folks, as I announced a couple of days ago in a special vlog, which I'm going to put a link to right about here, I am honoured to be and excited to be part of Flight Angels 2016. So Flight Angels is going to be a 24-hour live stream that's going to be happening in September during the September 16-17. Where there's going to be a whole heap of YouTubers going to be taking a series of flights all over the world. So this is steered and driven by Froogle Sim. So by Froogle from Froogle Sim. He's organising this. It's a really great, exciting thing. It's all about raising money for children's charities. So we're going to be supporting over the wall children's charities. We're going to be supporting the Serious Fun Network and Vision of Flight. Now, the first two, so over the wall charity and Serious Fun Network. So this is for camps for kids who are going through some pretty horrible, health issues. So it gives them a chance to actually get away from all the medical equipment, get away from the pumps, and actually, go and be kids. Now, these camps are completely free for the kids and their families, and they're fully supported by a huge supportive staff of volunteers and fully trained medical professionals as well to make sure the kids are safe and healthy while they're actually having some serious fun. And these camps are located all over the world, and it's a really great sort of charity and a really great thing to do, and an idea and a notion that's particularly important to me. So yeah, so I do encourage you for that. The other charity that's being supported as well is Vision of Flight, which aims to bring the idea of flight and aviation and engineering and just general. Just to give kids a chance to dream big and actually give them access and introduce them to all the multitude and huge variety of careers and opportunities that can be made available through aviation and aviation-related career paths. And so it's another really great charity for just giving our youth, just so many more opportunities that they may not have known they actually had. So this is a great set of charities. Throughout the actual live stream, we're going to be joined by, as I said, there's going to be a whole heap of YouTubers. There's going to be Froogles, there's going to be myself. We're going to be talking Jeff Favignano. We're going to have Cat Strader's going to be there. BelGeode's going to be there, and a few others that still haven't been announced, along with a whole heap of special guests and just some great giveaways for everybody. So look for more information coming up about that coming up here on my channel, also over on Froogle Sims and BelGeode's channel, and just head on over to the Flight Angels website for more information, or to donate, to kickstart your donations campaign now. The other part to wrap up this NovaWrap with is there will be no NovaWrap for the next couple of weeks. So I know I've just it feels like I've only just come back on board with the NovaWrap, and now I'm going again. Yes, I know. Sorry, but I'm heading off to Hawaii in a couple of days' time. I'm heading over there. So, again, those of you may know that I do occasionally do some crazy things called obstacle course races, and specifically some of the Spartan races. I'm going off and doing that something really, really stupid and really crazy. And I'm flying to Hawaii, and I am going to be running the Spartan Trifecta on the 12th and on the 13th and 14th of August. So I'm going to be covering something like 3 kilometers across 2 days, with in the humidity, the heat, the rain, and all the rest of it, across obstacles, uphill and down dale, just off Kinahia Bay. So I'm off doing that for a week, and then recovering and doing a bit more traveling as well for the following week. So yes, there will be no NovaWrap for the next 2 weeks, folks. So I have got some video content lined up for you while I'm away, so there will be a few things happening to keep you amused while I am away. But yeah, there will be no NovaWrap for the next couple of weeks. Alright folks, that does now wrap this up. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these and want to see more. And of course, as always, don't forget you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.